Hey, what is going on, everybody? We are back on this project. We're going to be installing the patio cover. We finally got the patio cover in today, and it's going to be going up, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be lattice top, 13 by 10, and through the whole process, we're going to be showing you guys exactly how to install it. So stay tuned for all the detail. All right, so first things first, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna find the center of our layout for the patio cover. Like I said earlier, this is about 13 feet 6 inches, so we're gonna find the center of that. Once we do have the center, we're gonna mark it with our chalk line, square it off with the Pythagorean theorem, 6, 8, 10 method. Make sure that we have a good square for this patio cover. Then after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the studs in the house. We're gonna be going about 8 to 9 feet up, somewhere around there. We haven't fully decided yet on how tall we want the patio cover to be. But once we have, we're gonna be putting holes through the stucco until we find the wood. Once we find the wood, most framing is 16-inch on center, so we can just start marking out the next pieces and start putting our lag screws in. They're gonna be 3/8 lag screws. Let's see if Sam. No, he's not. He's getting all the drill bits ready right now.
So these are the extension bits. We got 3/8, we got 1/4 inch. So this is what we'll be using.
And then here are the lag screws that we're gonna be using to go into the studs. The extension bits are gonna be super helpful as well because they're a little thick, 4 or 5 inches, and we have to go through these to get to the post. When we do get to that point, we're just organizing everything, getting everything ready, nice and pretty, so that nothing is lost when we start putting everything together.
Quick.
Yes. All right, we just ripped this 2x4 1/2 inch because we have another 2x4 right here, which 2x4s are really 1.5 by 3.5. And we need 6.5 inches exactly, so we just ripped a 1/2 inch off of this one so that we could fit both these 2x4s inside this header beam or header board, so that when we put it up there on the wall, it's got more structure and support to it. So there goes one in. So they're not exactly 13 feet like this, but overall it's going to give it a lot more structure and support than it would without it. Now the test, hopefully we can get this one in and it fits all good. Here we go. Oh, it's going in. It's getting tight though, huh?
Yeah, it's getting tight.
Here, let me try lifting it up. If I lift it up, try it now. Yeah, keep going. Nah, it's gonna work. Yeah.
Too tight.
It's almost there.
I know.
It's a little bit more here. Let me try it.
Too tight.
Hold it. I'll kick it in. It's nice and easy. Gentle taps. Love taps. All right, and there you have it. The 2x4 is in. We have this one sticking out more on this side and the other one deeper in, so it covers the other side when we start to put the brackets on this header board. So it has full support now.
I think we should try to I don't know if they match where the brackets are. That's where we're gonna put we're gonna drill the holes.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay, so we're measuring from the bottom right now. We decided to put the post at 8 feet, which is right there, and the header beam is about 6 inches in total. So we marked out the center, or the top and bottom of the header, 8 feet 6 inches, and that'll be the bottom of the patio and the top. So we're just pre-drilling right now through the stucco, making sure we hit all the studs, which is pretty easy since there's a lot of windows right here. So we got a king, a jack, header beams, so I know exactly where we're going. Makes it really simple that way. And then we're marking a line up top so that when we do put the header beam here, or the header board, we can see where the studs are and we can drill right into it. And Sam's just finishing up the rest right now. Are you good over there? Were you on the center for all of them?
Yeah, perfect.
Sweet. So as soon as we get done with this, we're gonna put the header beam up. After that, we're gonna find the center, snap a chalk line on the bottom, and hit it with the Pythagorean theorem. What do we call that? Algebra 101?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so right now we're just laying out the spacing on the studs on the interior of that exterior wall there. They're on 16-inch centers. We found one, so we just had to measure over every 16. And what we did is we drilled with a masonry bit through the stucco, and then we went with a wood bit to go into the stud, because they are 3/8-inch diameter bolts that go through the ledger plate, and that's what holds the whole patio cover to the house, and it holds this whole end up in the air basically. Now that chimney, that little pop out there on the left side that you see, we don't want to run the ledger plate beyond that point, because that's the end of the cover. We want it to be on the inside of that pop out, so we're going to run a straight edge right along that pop out and mark along that fireplace, and that's where we'll start the ledger, and then go from, you know, the left to the right, which is about 13.5 feet. And this is actually part 3 of a 3-part series, so this is the final chapter to this one. But if you want to see the concrete go in, or the artificial turf, any of those items, you can go back and look at part 1 and 2.
Alright, so we have every stud marked out up here, where we're going to be placing the header board. We're going to hoist it up right now, pre-drill through the aluminum, and drill all the way through. So you can see, there they are. We have about 9 of them marked out up there. That should be plenty. Now it's just about getting it up there. Okay, so you can see we have the header board up now. Now what we're doing is we're trying to transfer the header board down onto the ground so that we can measure over 13 feet 6 inches, find the middle, snap the line. We'll bring it out about 10 feet, because that's how long the patio cover is going to be, 10 feet. Then from there, we're going to snap another line across so that we can line our posts up exactly square with each other. So that's why that's there. It's a nice straight long board right there. As you can see, let me show you. We already checked for plumb with our Milwaukee level. It's plumbed out. We brought the line all the way down to that point. That's the end. So you can see we have it marked. So we're going to measure 13 feet 6 inches all the way, because that's how long the header board is. Once we do that, we mark middle.
All right, now we got the center line, which is our reference point really. Now we can measure off of that to the post. We can transfer to the outside edge. The posts on the outside edge are going to be 18 inches in, and then on the front edge here it's going to be 12 inches back.
Okay, so we just got our center, which was half of 13 6 inches, which was 6 feet 9 inches and a quarter. We just squared everything out, snapped our line down the middle, snapped it across this way, which was 10 feet at the end. There's a square that we used to make sure that these lines were square. Next thing we're gonna do now is start getting the post in. There's the post. We're going 12 inches back for the overhang and 18 inches in. Or actually, yeah, 18 inches in. So we're gonna have 18 inches overhang this way and on the other side, and then 12 inches overhang right from this side. And that should look pretty snazzy. Alright, Juan, so you got your center?
Yeah. You got them already.
Is that really center?
Yeah.
You measured it out?
Yeah, mean same.
So 18 inches off there and then 12 inches off that way?
Yeah, let me double check.
Yeah. Measure twice, drill once. Bet you haven't heard that one before.
I have one. From this line, 18.
Yeah, that's nice.
12.
Perfect, okay. Let's get to it. Wait, what kind of size bit are you using?
3/8.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
3/8 off? Okay. Just want to make sure. Oh, did you mark it by any chance? You only marked one side?
No, both sides.
Oh, okay. So you're good then, huh? Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Just a little slack.
Just enough to get it tightened.
Where's the? This is it.
Yep.
That should be it. Oh, it's too, I need a bigger one. But this is
Bigger than ½ inch? That's a ½ inch, isn't it?
this. It's a bigger one.
Oh, you need a deeper socket one,
These
huh?
ones are bigger. Yeah, these ones are bigger than the ones I usually work with. Is it going in? Am I loosening it up? Like this? Okay.
Oh yeah. That's that move right there. Precision. Precision.
A bit more.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I think that's it. That's it, stud. Okay, the post brackets are in. We have the post brackets in, so now we just gotta get the post up. But for us to do that, we're gonna have to cut these posts to the right height. We need, well, the header board was, what was the header board? 8 inches, right? Or was it 8 feet 6 inches?
The top of that is gonna be the bottom of this.
Yeah, the posts, right?
Yeah. Plus, including with the cap.
But we can't measure off that because the concrete's sloped.
I need you.
You know, the concrete's sloped, so we have to count for the slope, which is, you know, almost impossible. So the best way to do this would be to first check it out. Here's how we're gonna do it. One, We're gonna put the posts in place. We're gonna put a long piece of board across with the level on top of the board, and we'll mark it so it's dead level. And that's how we'll get our post to the right height. And then of course we'll measure down. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Yeah. So we'll measure. Yep. Measure across. Okay. See how we're doing this? Milwaukee is level. We're holding on top of our headboard, our header beam. We're holding on top of our header beam. Nice and level. Actually, want to go a little up, just a little up on your side. Okay. Yeah, right there. That looks good. So we got it perfectly level. Juan's plumbing out the post. He's marking the bottom of the lattice right here. He's marking the bottom so that we can get the exact height for the post, because we want the post to be exactly the same height as our header beam. Okay. Because we got a double beam that's gonna go across. Okay, hold on. Let me turn the camera off. Oh, looks like a stud one.
All right, now it's time to establish the height of the post. So we're just going to use one of the lattice runners as a straight edge to continue the level of the ledger board over to the post. And then we're just going to make it level. We don't need slope because it's not a closed, it's an open roof. So we're just going to do it level from the ledger to the top of post. And we'll just use one of these lattices to do that with. And then we'll cut the other post the exact same height once we establish this height. At this point, we'll just cut the other one the same height, because the concrete is basically level across in that direction. So we don't have to worry about that too much, because it's just sloping straight out from the house.
Okay, so we are getting the side plates measured out right now. We measured from the bottom of the concrete all the way to the top of this post, which was 95 3/8. Sam right over there is starting to make the cut with one, and then they're gonna bring the side plates over here and we're gonna attach it. We minus 8 inches for the header beams because we got a double header beam going in on these posts, and we want the header beam to be flush to the top of the post, so we minus 8 inches. All right, so here are the holes that we're putting in for the side plates. It's a really neatly organized, detailed way of screwing in your side plates. We put holes 3 inches off the bottom, 3 1/4 on center. These are 6.5 wide side plates. Then we go 2 feet up, another one, 2 feet up, another hole, 2 feet up, another hole, and at the top we put 4.
All right, so here's the cover plate. It's a 2x6. And that's just kind of covering up the 4x4 in the middle, the actual structure component of this whole assembly. Those cover plates happen to be foam filled, so that makes it a little more rigid also. And all those little drill outs for the aluminum wood, that's where the bolts go through. And then once you bolt it together, they have little plugs that pop in there and cover your bolts up. So it looks really nice. The side note on this is actually engineered cover, and it's designed to withstand 120 mile-an-hour winds, so that's pretty good about anywhere.
Okay, so we just brought the header beam up to the top. We marked it out on the post up there. You see, that was the center of the post. And then we did 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. We're gonna put 3 sheet metal screws in the post up top so that this header beam stays on really nice. And then we're gonna mark the same one for the other side.
3/8 hole?
3/8.
Ready? All the way through or just one end? Just this side, huh?
Yeah, and then, yeah, cause
This is marked, right? This is good?
yeah, cause we don't know if you're gonna go straight in or not.
Ready?
Actually, they gotta be bigger, don't they? Or no, we need it so the buttons fit.
What size are the buttonholes?
I'm pretty sure they're 1/2 inch.
Are they 1/2 inch or 3/8?
5/8.
5/8?
I don't have a 5/8.
See, we gotta make it 5/8.
Is it 5/8 for sure?
Yep.
All I have is 1/2 inch. Check it out. See the little button? Perfect.
Alright, so the header beam's going to set right on top of the 2x6 cover plates, and they're going to drill right into the 4x4 post. And we're going to do the same pattern we did on the cover plates. We're going to do 4 holes, nice and symmetrical. Actually 3 holes, just a vertical line of them.
Okay, we have the header beam up. It's like amazing, beautiful spacing. We're starting to get the hanger brackets up on the hanger ledger. We spaced about 18 inches on center. I'm gonna show you guys the quick math we did so it makes sense to you guys. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Let's see. Okay, so we had 13 feet 6 inches, so that would have calculated to 13.5 on a calculator, right? Next, what we want to do is times that by 12 for 12 inches in a foot. That gives us 162 inches, right? What we did was we spaced the first 2 rafters right onto the post, which we did 18 inches to the side for each side. So automatically I'm going to minus 36 inches off of the total. Right? After that I get 126 inches. Next I said divide that by, so if I divide that by 5, that gives us 25 inches each one.
25 inches. From the first one, not the side.
From the first one, not the side. So we gotta put them on 25 inches.
Yeah. Every 25.
25.2. So that's 1/5. So we're gonna be spacing all of the rafters 25 inches apart once we have both of our rafter tails on the end placed in.
So that's the simple way to break it down, your spacing. Just convert it into inches. Deduct the 2 ends, whatever you decide to bring it in off the ends. Deduct that, and then divide it and get equal spacing all the way through. Once you put, the nice thing about that ledger there, and it has the two 2x4s in there. One of them's ripped, of course, but it gives you something to hang your brackets on, something to drill into.
Alright, putting all the rafters up right now. Juan's got his side going in. Then now I'm going to be doing this side. It's not even in, Sam. You screwed it when it's not even in.
All the way?
The top's not in.
Oh, fuck. It's hard to see.
Get that bracket under the rafter.
So once Juan gets his side in, what I'm gonna do,
You need to add the bracket.
I gotta add my bracket first?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the bracket piece. This bracket piece goes right. We'll see, I need to mark it out. I need to mark it out so I know where. So get yourself square or lined up, like whatever looks nice and tight. Mark it each side so that when I put this rafter in, it's exactly straight with the brackets.
So once you have the first side laid out, which is hanging off the ledger, you can square your first rafter, get that squared across, and then you can just measure off of that one, 25 1/4 inch spacing on this side, and so that transfers it across. Or you can just square each one across. Either way, it's optional.
All right, last step. Lattice is going in.
You measured
Spacing, yeah,
2
we're
inches.
spacing everything at 2 inches, right?
2 inches off.
Sam's got his side spaced out. while I'm spacing out his side right now, sharpening his pencil, getting ready. We're gonna be dividing everything 2 inches, every lattice.
We should install just one on each end, first one, so then we can just come back and then.
By the first one, you
All right, this is the final step, putting the lattice up. And it's real simple on the spacing of these because the lattice is a 2x2. So you can either just use a lattice and an extra lattice and use that as a spacer. So you just screw in every other one and you just keep moving that extra piece to give you the spacing. Or you can use 2 pieces to give you 4 inches. It's just an option, whatever you want to do. Or you can carry measuring tape with you on the top. But inevitably you just want equal spacing on the top all the way across. And that's what we're going to have. So this will give it some nice shade. The direction of the lattice is kind of crucial depending how the sun, because you want them perpendicular to your east and west probably, or you might even want them a little bit south, perpendicular to south facing. But depending on how your house is setting, when you have open lattice, the direction your lattice is going is going to make a big difference in getting shade.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are here, last day on this project. As you can see, the patio cover is completely up. It's looking great. The only thing we're going to be doing now is getting all of the plants installed. We actually already have our drip irrigation installed. Most of it. We have like the hose in. We just gotta set up the little the drippers to each plant now. These are gonna be really, really pretty plants once they fully grow, because they attach to walls, and this is gonna be a whole live wall eventually. So that's gonna be really nice. Plus, I'll give them some privacy right here, so they can enjoy their patio cover out here in their whole backyard. So we're just gonna be digging out the holes, setting up the plants. We actually hit a main line right here, or a main water line. That's actually for the HOA community. So I think it waters the grass over there or something. So we gotta fix that really quick. No big deal. It's kind of weird that it runs through this property though. But yeah, we busted it trying to dig a little hole for one of these plants. No big deal. Get that fixed up real quick. But yeah, we're gonna get the rest of these plants in. Once the plants are in, we're gonna just fill all of this area up with topsoil to give these guys some good nutrients. Clean up the planter bed. All right, get into it. Okay, so we are wrapping up this job. We are completely done. All the planters are in. Patio covers up. We even put some string lights up on the patio cover, and complete backyard remodel from what it used to look like. So I'm gonna take you on a quick walk along of this backyard. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. It really helps us out and get noticed on YouTube more. For anyone else that wants to know more about landscaping and concrete, artificial turf, patio covers, all that kind of stuff we'd like to cover. So liking the videos really help us out. Anyways, I'm gonna take you on a quick walk around of the backyard. Nice little overview shot from the outside. Too bad the fence is in the way a little. Got the nice modern paver steps, artificial grass. Planters are all set up with drip irrigation. Nice little border on the concrete. Smooth finish on the border. Nice light brown finish for the concrete. There's the beautiful patio cover. Matches perfectly with the house. Double header beam, lattice top.
All right, that about wraps this job up. If you been here since part 1, you'd see the artificial turf going in, the concrete, the irrigation. We didn't show the actual plant install, but we put all those plants in also on a drip system. Yeah, that wraps it up. We got it all completed and ready to move on to the next one. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way you'll know right when we upload the next video and you'll be able to catch it early. Have a good one. Talk to you later.